head on into the bow of the boat next to us.
This belt was loose. The engine started smoking.
And there's mushrooms growing out of it and ended up revealing some holes to the outside that you could see light through. Hi, I'm Charlotte.
I'm Evie.
And this is our 70-year-old sailboat,
Oslo.
In this video, we're going to be going out fishing, taking
Yay!
Oslo for a motor, and we'll be giving an update on what happened with the engine. Will it ever work again?
Yes.
Okay, good. And also what's happening next, and
We're hauling out
soon, and how Oslo is fared over winter.
badly.
So you can stop watching now because you've got the answers, or you can keep watching and
See us catch a fish.
aww.
And you didn't press record. We're using ether. The engine's hooked on ether. We want to get it off it, but we don't know how. It's addicted. But we have figured out how to start the engine single-handedly, which is nice.
Did you open the seacock and stuff?
I did.
Alright, so what happened to Oslo over winter? We wanted to haul out a lot sooner, before winter. Then we decided just to wait for winter to end. We came back after quite a while. We hadn't visited Oslo, and there's mushrooms growing out of it, and it was all like you just pushed it and like water would like squeeze out like a sponge. So that was kind of deteriorating faster than we thought it would, so we got into it at some point. We cut away part of the shelf that was in the way and started digging at some of the rotten wood to get rid of it, and ended up revealing some holes going all the way through to the outside that you could see light through. And that was a little stressful. So we ended up putting like an off-brand flex tape over it, which has held up surprisingly well. And it's just been sitting there, and it's dried out quite a lot, although there is a lot more rot patches to the side, and it's kind of behind the gunnel and the stringer. So that's the main task when we haul out, is we really need to do that hull repair. Other than that, it's going to be some new paint, anti-fouling, but pretty much we just want to focus on the hull and under the waterline this first haul out, and correcting things that are going to cause it to deteriorate further. So hopefully that won't take more than a couple months. We want to do heaps more, but everyone's recommended that we don't take on too much at once. So yeah. Was that good?
over winter we figured out why the engine wasn't working and why we broke down and had to be rescued. The previous owner told us that this belt was loose and there was a part that was really worn and you needed to turn it round to a certain position, otherwise it'd slip and the engine wouldn't start. Only when the engine started smoking and I throttled down so much that it cut out, we panicked and forgot that. Another problem was that it was overheating. I think that was because of the same belt, because it was loose and it wasn't turning the impeller for the cooling water fast enough. So we've replaced the belt, and as soon as we did that, it's been fine. It hasn't been overheating. We've been seeing more water come out of the Seacock. Is it the Seacock?
No.
Engine's fine.
Cool.
Cool. So we haven't caught anything other than the crab, and a guy just pulled up on his boat and told us to try a little bit over there. So we're gonna go and do that.
Okay, let's go.
We're recording.
Shall we talk about the incident?
Well, I was about to say we're coming back in now because it's raining quite a lot. And the fish aren't biting anymore.
Caught one undersized blue cod each.
Last time we tried to come back in, it was quite exciting, wasn't it?
Yes. Yes. So, the incident. Last time we came back in from catching no fish. Coming into the mooring, we've done it a couple times. Felt like we got the hang of it, maybe like maybe a little overconfident phase.
The camera just died. So,
I'd learned that it's good to come into the current. I think you thought it was going the other way.
I think it did.
So we're coming in, and you had slowed down and everything.
I was in neutral.
Yeah. And we're coming up to the rope with the stick and hooked it, and I tried to grab onto it, but we just had too much momentum, I think. It just pulled away from me. I couldn't hold onto it anymore.
But then we sort of went past it. It went close enough that I could grab it from where I was.
At the back of the boat.
The back of the boat. And I grabbed onto it and I got hold of it. But then the same thing happened.
Yeah. I mean, we were also like kind of on a course between the boats. I felt like it should have been fine.
Yeah, it should have been fine.
But it wasn't fine. So we both looked up and saw that we were just heading straight
into a boat.
Head on into the bow of the boat next to us. And there wasn't enough time to correct. So I was standing up front watching it happen, and the bowsprit, which is very long on this boat with a nice big metal bracket at the end, like a battering ram, just came in and scraped down their starboard bow, leaving like a decent scratch. And then the bowsprit popped up over the, I said gunnel, and I think it's actually rubro, I don't know. Luckily it disconnected where the stay was. That could have been really bad if it had damaged the stay for the mast. And then it recontacted where an acrylic window was, leaving a scratch in that. And then it came to rest on a stanchion, which is one of the posts around the side of the boat that kind of have the railing so you don't fall in the water. I managed to get the guy's details. Lovely, lovely guy. And he wasn't too worried about it. He said it's just cosmetic. So we were in the clear. Alright, we're gonna head back in now. Let's
see what that noise is.